For the best Italian food in Western New York, Elliot Apollo's, call 716-825-3675. The Lardon Construction Group.
Fubo TV, the official streaming service of Do Champions. FanDuel, the official sportsbook of Do Champions.
For all your summertime needs, beauty pools, as well as kayak pools.
CX Chronicles, your total customer solutions focused manager. W.GG, the official energy drink of Do Champions.
Hey, Sons of Erie, our artwork looks better on your walls. Hamburg Brewing, please visit our tap room on Boston State Road, Hamburg, New York. And finally,
Fat Boy Surf Club for all your surfing needs.
Welcome back to another episode of the Buffalo Combat Zone. We are your hosts, Alex, Randall, and Miley, which I'm going to switch here and then there. And now we're back in business. Please like, share, subscribe, and welcome to a non-victory Monday. What's up, fellas?
Oh, what's going on? Miley, good to see you again. First time I got to meet Miley over the weekend.
Yeah, we ran in when we were getting wings.
Oh, nice. At
old 9/11.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, randomly or no?
Well, we knew we were both there. When I ran into him was kind of randomly, but I knew he was going to be there.
Yeah.
Did you know within a certain time frame he's going to be there, or is it just like
Well, we got there around the same time. We just kind of were sitting on opposite sides of the restaurant. And then when I went to use the bathroom, I saw him.
So
yeah,
I knew. So you didn't know he was going to be there in advance.
No, I did. We were talking about it already.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah. And then he was in a corner, and it was so packed when you first walk in that I couldn't even get to his table. So I was like, well, I might not see him. And then I saw him go to the bathroom. Thank God that we got. There
was like 50 people waiting in line before it opened up there.
It's crazy.
It was crazy.
I know. Wings worth it.
Oh yeah, for sure.
My God.
Was that before the game, or was that
before the Sabres game?
They open at 4:30. We got there at 4:00, and our wings got there at 6:00. We were the first group of tables in, so it took like 150 or hour and 15 minutes to get the wings on the first round, and then made it right as the puck drops. That's how crazy 9/11 is.
Yeah, it's insane.
Is it close to the stadium?
It's like 10 minutes from the arena, 10, 15. It's not a far drive. It's so packed. Yeah, we got there at like 4:00 also. We just kind of got lucky when we got our wings. We got them probably like 5:30ish. So we were out of there by 6:15, and we got there in plenty of time.
Are they still on a win streak?
Yeah, they're losing right now, I think 2-1.
Is it?
Unfortunately, but it's in St. Louis.
Are they in the playoff race?
They're tied. They're tied right now.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'm looking at it right now. Actually,
the vibes were high at that game though, Miley.
Oh my God,
it was good to see that crowd. Yeah, it was good to see a good crowd of the Sabres. Like good cheering, good 5-on-5 play. Everything was. Yeah. It was a good game.
I mean, they're 19-14, 42 points right now. Does that sound right to you? Yeah, that's not. It's pretty good for them. That's really good. Especially this juncture of the thing. Yeah.
This is pretty cool. I didn't realize that.
What?
This comment.
Oh wow.
He was right.
You guys were hanging out, Randall?
Yeah.
I didn't realize you guys are right behind me in line.
Yeah, I know.
That's funny. All right, let's get into it. What were your thoughts? I'm gonna let y'all start off. I've got quite a few things to say. You want to go ahead, Miley, and go first?
Yeah. I think this was all around just not a great offense performance. I would say Joe Brady probably called his worst game. I would say the offensive line probably had its second worst game of the year. And then the kicking situation kind of cost us. I personally still would have kicked the extra point. I thought going for 2 was kind of dumb. We were absolutely dominating them in the second half.
Yeah.
But when you look at it, the way we were winning in that game is very encouraging. We were throwing the ball down the field. We were stopping Saquon Barkley, who has been on a heater lately. And he's been playing really good. We stopped him. He had 70 yards. Jalen Hurts didn't complete a pass in the second half. That defense played amazing. And our passing game, we were actually able to move the ball down the field. I think Josh was able to finally find some guys he could trust. Brandon Cooks made up for it. He was consistently getting open, which we'd kind of seen the last 2 weeks. He was just dropping it. So it was we don't trust him to catch the ball, but he was coming down with some nice catches. Tyrell Shavers with another big play. He constantly makes plays every time he gets called upon. I thought Josh Palmer had a couple nice reps. The drop was annoying, but we were pushing the ball down the field and actually moving and pouring rain against a very good defense. We were able to move the ball. So as annoying as it is, the fact that we only scored 12 points, the way we were winning in this game is very, very good to see going forward. Us pushing the ball down the field should hopefully make defenses react and then readjust and open things up underneath. Because we showed, oh, we can actually push the ball down the field if you just try and sell it to stop the run. So it was really nice to see that. But there were some very frustrating parts. Josh made some very crucial mistakes, but it is extremely annoying seeing Bills fans watch these games and see Josh Allen having to carry week in and week out. And then when he isn't perfect, everyone just goes, oh, he had a bad game. He's the reason we lost. Yes, he made mistakes, but he's also the only reason we didn't get shut out. We couldn't run the ball. Our offensive line couldn't do anything. Like Josh was getting pressured immediately. And outside of Brandon Cooks and a couple of Josh Palmer plays and even Shaver's catch, he wasn't open. He just made a nice play. We still weren't creating much separation. Like, yeah, Josh missed Shakir. Yeah, the fumble, but his arm was going forward. And then or that fourth down, he probably could have hit Ty Johnson in the end zone real quick, but it was like a bang play. He just missed it. And people saying you should have thrown to Brandon Cooks, you got to read where Josh is looking and how the defense is reacting. He's not going to, while he's looking in the end zone trying to make a play, he's not going to turn his body completely and throw it to Brandon Cooks, who he can't even see because he's looking in the end zone.
I think I'll let you keep going. I want to say one thing real quick. I think I agree with you in a lot of respects too, and I think that people need to realize how hard it is to see things. When you have a helmet on your head, it's a lot different than having just nothing on your head looking around, right? And like we have 180 degrees. When you have a helmet, it cuts just a little bit off. He probably should have seen him.
He was the man in motion.
I think he did.
He was the man in motion.
He did look him off. It was earlier in the route, and then there was a linebacker kind of over there when he did look Cook's way. So then he looks, sees, okay, if he throws it then the linebacker is going to come down and probably makes the tackle. And then he looks him off, and then he sees Ty Johnson. He goes to make the play, and then it's like, okay.
I'll keep talking when he's doing it. Hey, all right. So I want to talk about it too. He's frozen, which is great. I'm just kidding. I love my
picture.
So what I'll say is, I think that snap it. He's back.
Got it.
Are you back? Okay, go ahead. Damn it. I didn't get to talk. Shit.
All right. Well, anyways, I don't know where I cut out at, but basically I was saying that after he looks off Cooks, after he looks at Ty Johnson, I would blame him more for missing Ty Johnson than I would Brandon Cooks, but I also understand in the rain why you're not going to throw a ball a million miles an hour to fit it into a window, which you would have had to beat the other linebacker. Yeah. But he still probably should have attempted that throw. That's probably the bigger mistake. And then after that, he's got Cook standing next to him, but he can't see him. And to be able to look, he would have to turn his body so much that he's probably getting tackled at the guys that are chasing him. So I get why he can't really turn his body, look, and make that throw after he did already look him off. So I think the missing Brandon Cooks is blown out of proportion. I think it was maybe the Ty Johnson is what he missed, or maybe he should have ran so close to the line of scrimmage where then he could have seen Brandon Cooks quicker or seen him easier and made the throw. But the situation he was in, I totally understand why he didn't throw it to Cooks.
I think too. Oh, go ahead.
Because I think I'm going to be on the other side. I don't know. Brandon Cooks was the man in motion, so he knew where he was and what his route is. He did eye him once he came off and he was running. I get right when he gets to the line of scrimmage. I don't think he could have done much, which I agree with Miley on there, because there could have been a situation where there was an illegal man downfield because an offensive lineman was right about at the 2.5 yard mark. So that would have been a flag. So he had to run if that's what he was thinking. But my issue is that Brandon Cooks was sitting there and he was running parallel to him, showing his chest at him, being like, hey, hit me. He should have hit him. He had 2 times where he could have hit him. I know he might not have been looking at him, but with that man in motion, he knew where he was, and he should have just dipped out when he saw the 2 guys. So I kind of disagree with that. I think he should have hit Brandon Cooks overall on that spot, and they would have had a touchdown on it. I think that was a big mistake. But Alex, if you want to rebuttal on that, then go back on that side. Go ahead.
Yeah. I didn't know what Alex you're talking to. Sorry.
I would just one quick thing. We wouldn't have been in that situation if Joe Brady didn't call halfback dive on 3rd and 3. Probably one of the worst play calls I've ever seen. I think that might be worse than the screen on 3rd and 9, because at least we've got like 3rd and 9 screens that Ty Johnson have worked plenty of times before. Well, I think that was still a bad call. Halfback dive on 3rd and goal is probably bottom 3 play call of all time. It's almost
Yeah.
as dumb as a play call as running a fake punt to DeMar Hamlin.
Yeah. What? But what about also? Okay, so which one was dumber, the HB dive on that one, or the 3rd and 1 screen to Shakir that was dropped at the start of the second half?
Oh my gosh.
I would say it's definitely dumber than the 3rd and 1 screen, because if Shakir catches that screen, he gets the first down.
But it's
Probably a lot
pouring
more.
rain. It's
I
pouring
know.
rain.
It was a
Just
low
run it or
percentage
tush push
play.
it. You're
They
playing the
should have taken
Eagles.
the
Just
gimme.
tush push it.
Yeah, he should have
I
taken the gimme.
get that. I get that. But the reason I'm saying the halfback dive is dumber is because at least with the screen, if he catches it, he gets the first down. He did. I get it's the pouring rain. I understand that, but at least if he catches it, halfback dive, there was just no chance that play was
Right. No, I agree. I definitely agree that all those 3 were very dumb overall.
Yes,
And I agree
then
that Joe Brady
punting
just
it
called an awful
afterwards
game.
was also dumb on Sean McDermott's part.
Yeah.
Does
I think
anybody?
It's like he goes back and forth between ultra aggressive and ultra conservative when it comes to 4th downs, and it's extremely frustrating. I get
There's no consistency.
like I understand where we are on the field, but it's 4th and 1. Just tell Josh Allen to go get the 1 yard
Exactly.
line. How often has he not gotten 4th and 1s?
Since the last year was the last time it
Right,
happened,
KC.
probably. Yeah.
And that was realistically that was a first down. They just couldn't see the ball.
Yeah,
Exactly.
I think too. I think you have to remember these guys are like human beings. They're not like cyborg machines that
Agreed.
can see all 22 in their head while they're playing football. I think the plays, the few I've seen that everybody keeps pointing to. So I'm guessing there's not a lot more than that out there. I saw probably two misreads, one badly missed throw, and then at the end of the game to lose it, which is why he's getting so much. If he makes that throw and they win. If he makes that throw, they're going to talk about how Allen carried us to a win again. One play away.
Exactly.
Right.
So
MVP.
Like
it would have been MVP talk.
263 yards passing, 2 touchdowns, and no picks. The fumble was bullshit. I mean, it's a tuck rule. We got Brady calling the cast, and it's a clear tuck rule issue, and they don't give it to him. It's incomplete. It's not an egregious turnover, right? I heard that. That's clearly not an egregious turnover. It's raining. Even if he's trying to pump fake and bring it back down, he's not trying to throw the ball into coverage when it didn't matter. And he assumed that he would be able to tuck it and go. It slipped out of his hands. Okay, I'm sorry. It's not that big of a deal. Now would that change the game? Maybe it was a big turnover. I don't agree that it was a turnover, and I don't agree that it was some big huge thing. The miss to Shakir was bad. It was the right read. He had him open. We have to realize too. I think that people don't understand when they haven't really played football before, that these guys, like, when things happen that are pressuring you all freaking game, we got middle pressure all game, right? Osiris Torrance looked like trash. Edwards looked like trash.
He did.
McGovern's looked like trash all game, right?
Jalen Carter just bitched him around.
Yeah, like I said it last week, he's an above average guard. I think that's pretty clear. I think he's a good player. I don't think he's an amazing player. I don't think he can handle guys like Carter, right?
Torrance.
Yeah, he's a good,
he's
solid
kind of
player.
Me. He kind of lately he's kind of been disappointing.
He's okay.
Last year he showed a lot more flashes. In the beginning of this year he was good.
He's not in the top 20 for interior offensive line pass block win rate. He's not in the top 10. That's all I could see on ESPN. I don't pay for any services. PFF, which is not reputable at all, have him at a 61. I'm not saying that's something to hang your hat on, but it is part of the data to back up that the numbers that we see there. He's an okay player. I think by most measures we shouldn't re-sign him. But besides the point, the offensive line played a poor game. But anyway, right? The offensive line played a poor game. Allen, when you're being pressured up the middle all game and you're off your spot the whole time, playing quarterback becomes a lot more difficult, right? And then when guys don't get open, usually he's having to create all the time. And when a guy does spring open, wide the hell open, like Shakir, that was the best route he's run all year, right? That it wasn't a screen pass. It kind of surprises you. I know he's a professional. He's got to hit that throw. I don't take that away from him. He should have hit the throw. It was a bad job by him. But I think it's not like we're used to seeing a ton of open guys all the time. It is a surprise effect with it. You know what I mean?
Like, you assume it's a tight window throw.
He's like, oh shit, he's wide the hell open.
And he was also on his back foot. He was on his back foot throwing in the pouring rain. Like,
bad
throw.
He's
bad throw, but not as egregious as people make it out to be.
But that's another discussion throughout the day, is how Josh Allen handled pressure. is he did release it a little too early and a little too quick. Probably could have put some loft on it, but he did not handle pressure well yesterday.
No.
54 completion percentage, got all 5 sacks while under pressure, threw 2 turnover worthy plays, and had to throw away twice outside when pressured, and his other stats were good. So the pressure was the issue. It's kind of like the Houston Texans game or the Atlanta Falcons game, where stunts, like the Falcons game, stunts really worked. Like they got Dion on a stunt in the first half. That Dion just stood there like a doll. It was so they had some good blitzes dialed up. I do agree. I mean, it is what it is. I think, and I know that this is kind of like almost glazing at the moment, but I will say that Josh Allen was in the top 3 reasons why we did lose that game yesterday, and that's fine. That's one.
I put him
that's one out
4.
of. I put him at number 3. But at that point, because you make $55 million a year, you should make that play. But when it comes down to it,
I agree.
Yeah, it came at an opportune time, and I hate and then again, this is glazing because we just went 4-0. We are on a win streak. We're not that kind of full win streak team this year. Josh Allen, probably first game in 6, 7, 8 years, whatever, that he's actually been at fault for not being able to clinch the game. Now we're going into week 18 of the playoffs. You know what Josh Allen's like when things like this happen. And this game, we had a chance at the 1 seed. We had a chance at the 2 seed, but it was so negligible that now that that's out of the way, we're talking about resting starters, Josh Allen being pissed off. Now we can really start honing in on what the playoffs are going to look like in a true fashion instead of being a grab bag at week 18.
I think they're going to give them a drive.
It's a pretty strong possibility we play Jacksonville, so we can also kind of start to look ahead because basically as long as New England beats Miami, we beat the Jets, and Houston beats Indy, and Jacksonville beats Tennessee, which are all extremely likely.
Right.
And Denver and the Chargers do not end in a tie.
So Denver has to win, though, that game.
Yeah, but
Denver or the Chargers.
Herbert's not playing.
No, Denver or the Chargers, because if the Chargers win that game, then Denver moves down to the 3 seed, Jacksonville moves to the 2, and we stay at the 7. If Denver wins that game, we go to the 6. Jacksonville's at the 3. So no matter who wins the Denver or the Chargers game,
Chargers are still 6 above us, though, right?
Yeah, but we have the same record.
Yeah, but their common opponent record's better than ours, and then we're not playing.
Yeah, but if they lose and we win, we just have a better record than them.
Right.
Yes. That's why I said I said the Chargers can't win and keep the 7.
But if the Chargers win, New England moves to the 1, Denver moves to the 3, Jacksonville moves to the 2, we're the 7.
Right.
If the Chargers win that game, that's why
the Chargers still 6 though at that point.
Yes, but Jacksonville is 7 or Jacksonville is 2, so we still go into Jacksonville.
Correct.
If Denver loses, Jacksonville becomes
yeah. I thought you said we were going to be the 6th seed no matter what. Yeah.
No, I said we were going to be playing. I'm saying it's very likely we would play Jacksonville no matter.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, if the Chargers win.
If the obvious games happen, no matter who wins,
you're right. So the Chargers win, we play Jacksonville no matter what.
Right.
If the Chargers lose, granted everything else happens. If the Chargers lose, we move to 6. We stay at 6, and we play the Jags instead of the Patriots at that point.
Yeah,
exactly.
Denver. It's very likely we play Jacksonville in Jacksonville. Yeah. I'm probably going to the game too.
Exactly, and with that, we can start planning for Jacksonville, getting T-Law's tendencies and making him look like he has been.
They did not look great against Indy this past week either.
The
Niners actually. Yeah, Indy's defense
team.
is not that good, and they kind of struggled a little bit to score some points.
They should have lost
all day.
Jacksonville's been looking good, and I'm not saying it's going to be an easy win. Like their coaching staff is really good. T-Law's been playing really good.
But you prefer to play them over the others?
No, I'd rather play New England or Denver. Denver barely could beat Chris. Could barely beat. Did you see how Denver looked this last week?
Yeah,
to a team that got dominated by the. Yeah, Denver lost to a team that got dominated by the Titans and had Chris Aludicon as their starting quarterback, and almost lost that game.
Well, yeah, they are prone to that.
And New England, we've already shown we can go into New England and win. I am not. I'm scared of Houston's defense, Jacksonville's coaching, and Derrick Henry. That's it in the AFC.
Yeah. I agree with that sentiment. That's fair.
Yep.
I think that's fair as well. What do you guys want? What do you want them to do this week? Like, do you want them to play starters or
play
no?
a drive? Starters play
a drive, and that's it. Just
to go through the motions so they don't get too rusty.
They need a break. Our team definitely needs a break.
And we should be able to beat the Jets with their backups. Brady
We
Cook
really should.
Terrible.
Mitch Trubisky can do it.
I think specifically
we could win that game like 20-10 or something like that.
Joey Bosa needs a time.
All day. Yeah. I'm curious, I
didn't even rest
Deion Walker.
I
don't know. I think Deion Walker is a rookie. I think you can give him some longer reps, like playing for a half and get him going. But like Fedarian Mathis played very well yesterday too.
Let's talk about the defense. Let's talk about the defense before we do this. Sorry.
I was gonna say he still needs reps because I think he wasn't playing a lot of snaps before we obviously grabbed him and stuff like that.
Mathis looked good though in this past game.
Exactly. Mathis looked good. So if he wants to keep it cooking through week 18, you can give him in to get Daquan Jones off. Daquan Jones is whatever, sit him another week and stuff. But yeah, if we're gonna talk about the defense was incredible. You were right, Miley. Barkley, 3.6 yards per average against the rain when it was expected for him to rush over 100 yards in a rain game. As expected, he had, I believe, 25 rushes at 3.6, so that was really good. Yep. Deion Walker, incredible. It was unfortunately we had a 0-sack game, but our pressures when we were trying to
we got one.
Who got it?
Half to Rousseau and half to
Rousseau.
Who was
it? TJ? No, that was a throwaway.
No, it wasn't. I'll look it up now while you're talking. Go ahead.
Okay. But yeah, Mathis had a good game. TJ Sanders looks like he's really coming into his own. He had some really good reps. I'm enjoying that on the inside, that now he's inside. We got to work on the other edge. Whoever was it, Carlos, or I can't remember who was filling in on that edge, but he couldn't set the edge well and run, but he did have a pressure. Not obviously getting a half a sack.
Milano
got it. But our pressures that were leading to Jalen Hurts getting out of the pocket always led to a throwaway. So I'll kind of take that, even though the best is to get him on the ground. So it was what it was
like
at that
Hurts, point. I'm not too worried. I thought Greg Rousseau had a really good game. I thought a couple of the times where he lost contain, he got like tripped up by other players. I think it was like Bernard took him and someone else out.
Three of them went out, right? Bosa and then there was something like that.
And then it was Bernard took out Bosa and Rousseau. And then there was one where like Rousseau, they were doing like a stunt and Rousseau was on the inside and he was still basically able to he chased Jalen Hurts down enough to make him go out of bounds instead of run for a gain. So yeah, I thought Rousseau again this is Rousseau though. He's really streaky. He's dominant for a month and then he disappears for a month and he's dominant.
I thought they were
in the middle of being really good for a month.
I think they set the edge better in this game I've seen in a long time.
Oh, for sure. Epinesa actually set the edge somewhat.
Yeah.
Morgan Fox maybe.
No, it was
Fox is gone.
Yeah, Fox is gone. It was let me find him. Andre Jones Jr.
Oh yeah, I thought he played pretty decent.
He had a pressure, but in the first half, he had Barkley's explosive runs come from him attacking the interior and him bouncing outside a couple times.
Yeah. I mean, he's a practice squad lover. Yeah,
he is. But I'm saying like it's gonna be a practice squad on that guy on that side anyways for for the future.
Yeah. I thought the safeties played a really good game. I thought that AJ Brown he got Benford a couple times, but for the most part, Benford played a good game against AJ Brown. I thought.
I think that first explosive play was OPI. At the stem, he extended his full arm.
Yeah, I said that on the test. I was like, that's OPI. I can't believe they didn't call it. And he still caught up. It wasn't like he blew by him at that. He caught back up. He was in coverage.
There's not a single wide receiver in the AFC that we're going to be playing in the playoffs that's going to be as good as AJ Brown either. Maybe Nico.
No, not at all.
Trey White handled him well. Like Trey White is like Maxwell Harrison after the game spoke so well about the DB room, and he never even singled somebody out. He just talked about how congealed the defensive backs are playing and how they're talking. Like Maxwell Harrison, I don't think cares about his snaps right now because he understands that Trey White is. I can't believe Trey White's still doing it in week 17 and how he's playing.
The guy. He's the guy going forward. He knows that. It's not like there's no pressure on him.
He doesn't need to do it this year.
Which is great. No pressure on him at all.
It is.
Like it wasn't like Elam where he got thrown in.
The DBs know what they're doing. That's the most important thing because we switched to a more cover 3 base this year and we're using cover 6 a lot. So they have to be in unison at all times. And they're really doing that at the end of the year. Just needs to roll into the playoffs.
Who played safety most of the game in place of Poyer? I didn't even notice it.
Lewis, right?
Was it Cam?
Yeah.
They did get a catch on Cam in the game. I thought about Miley when it happened, but he was in coverage. It was good coverage. He just got beat.
Yeah. Was it Hancock? I'm trying to remember that. Was that AJ Brown?
It's AJ Brown. I think. It was AJ. Yeah, it was AJ.
Yeah.
Hancock is falling out of favor quite a bit.
He did
I don't know
only special teams yesterday.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with that, but and then
Maybe
Darnell
they just
Savage
didn't
still
like
hasn't
the
been
rookie
brought up.
mistakes when he was playing.
Oh yeah,
I thought Savage was getting a call up, and he didn't do it.
same.
Yeah, I thought they would give a chance to him at least. They haven't done it yet. I wonder. This is what it bothers me about. If you're going to bring up a guy who's got high level talent that was a decent draft pick and has high end athleticism, like I get, it's nice to have him on your roster. Let's freaking use him. Let's stop like just stacking him there like he's a practice squad level player. He's a starter. He's been the
A change
starter
of
in this league
scenery
for a
could
while.
always help somebody.
Yeah, absolutely. And he comes from a place that was kind of destitute at that point. Was it Washington or
Boom.
whatever he left?
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, bingo.
like who wants to be there, you know? And they changed their scheme and things like that with Dan Quinn last year, and I think it's impacted him as well. So, but yeah, I thought that the defense played their best game of the year. Now, I'll say this is the downside. Everybody says the rain's an issue, but I don't really think it's that. Philly has been known to just go silent in games for a half, you know?
Right.
And their offense is really inconsistent. They don't actually throw the ball that well considering the weapons they have, and they don't even try to. And they just kind of they've won this way a lot this year. We like doubled their yardage, and their third down percent was like, I think they were like 3 for 10 or something like that.
Yeah.
Right.
They're just so talented throughout the board that they can just pull wins out so many different ways. But the reason these games keep looking like this is
they just control the game.
Kevin Petula is terrible, and Jalen Hurts has not been good this year.
Bingo.
No, he wasn't good.
But I mean, we play the same way. We're both second half teams, and we ended up pulling out the second half much better. We just didn't come down with a 2-point conversion. So I still think it's all of a tip of cap to us. I agree. I mean, I think the rain did play a factor in potentially Josh Allen's urgency on drives, understanding like the big sack. I'd like to get your guys' opinion on this, but the big sack, I think in the fourth quarter or the end of the third quarter where he was running around and then ended up getting sacked, it was our offense ran the play where it was the mesh into a whip route to open up on the outside sort of thing, to use mesh on there. And it just wasn't open because they switched to zone. But I didn't really care that he got that loss of yards because it was 13-0, and a field goal did nothing for me at that point.
Exactly. We were going to go for it anyways, and on 4th and 10, the chances of us getting it probably weren't that good, so at least we were able to hit them deep.
You could have hit Ty Johnson over there, but then it would have been 4th and 5, whatever, kind of go from there and fire it up. But that's not – everybody talks like that in a hindsight, like we're going to convert the 4th and 5. And that's just not realistic.
No. Yeah.
Just, if he'd got around
Josh almost
that guy,
escaped that,
he had a lane.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. He could have at least ran, or he would have ran enough by the time he got to the line of scrimmage. The scramble, Jill, someone on one of our wide receivers could have got open. He would have bought a lot of time if he escaped that. So, I personally thought it was the right idea because we were going to go for it regardless, I felt like, because, a field goal in the fourth quarter down, we would have still needed to get 2 scores, which we ended up getting 2 scores, but I have a strong feeling they were going for that regardless.
Agree.
Yeah, and also thought that the resurgence of hopefully he keeps it up with Brandon Cooks was it did add an element to our offense that we weren't scoring points, but I felt like we were moving the ball fairly well. And I thought they had to once he caught the first one, I thought that they started to have to respect it a little bit. And I think it opened up other things for Josh, although the run game still didn't get off the ground. I think a lot of that's just because the interior offensive line wasn't playing very good. And
that's a Jalen
Carter problem.
Right.
Exactly.
Do you guys think that D-line. Do you guys think that Brandon Cooks just like jumped up and caught it and fell to the ground because he was like, I can't go over 3?
Yes. When it went up, I was like, oh my God.
He could have caught it and ran all day to the end zone.
Oh, when he went up, I was like, you better not drop another pass. You already should have been cut last week.
Bro, If he would have dropped the pass, they should have Vontae Davis him at halftime.
Yeah. Hey,
you're cut at halftime.
But then he did it again. He had a great game.
Yeah, he had a great game,
which is separated really well.
Which is so positive. Josh Allen went 3 for 4 for 118 yards on air yards of 20 plus or more. That's championship winning deep passing.
And it's not like they have a weak secondary either. Quinyon Mitchell,
Cooper DeJean,
Blankenship. They have a pretty good secondary.
Yeah, they've got probably 100%. One of the top 5. They're definitely a top 5 secondary in the NFL.
Yeah, and we were able to throw the ball out. And that's where it's like this loss. It sucks. It sucks to lose football games, but now we get to avoid Derrick Henry, at least at the wild card. We don't have to go into Baltimore, and we looked good throwing the ball. There's a lot of positives to take away from this.
There is a lot of positives.
Yeah, and I think there's a problem, too. There wasn't a lot of trust. Dawson Knox played a heck of a game as well, and I thought that I was worried in the rain.
He caught 3 passes in the rain.
Yeah.
Every time he caught it, I would just get up and yell, it's a Christmas miracle.
It's a miracle.
But
He
I
caught
mean,
the ball in the
yeah.
rain.
listen, Tyrell Shavers also, like, that was a great catch. And now he's gaining, I think he's gaining a lot more trust as game by game goes. I think he's due for like a 2-year
Yeah.
contract coming in the offseason. Like,
Yeah.
the James Cook run in the first half where he was the lone blocker in the slot and he wrecked a dude for James Cook to pick up like 15 or 17 yards. He went right up to Sean McDermott and they just like went after each other because he was so hyped about that block. Like,
Yeah.
he's due for a 2-year. He's
Give
exactly
him
what they're
that
looking for.
2-year 6, something like that.
He's-
Like how Mac
100
got, or how we give Ty
100%.
Johnson. Like we're really
Mhm.
good. Like on offense, we're really good at having just those niche role players throughout. Ty
100%.
Johnson, Jackson Hawes, Alec Anderson, Tyrell Shavers. It's like these fit these roles so good that it's nice. It's just we would like to have a little more top end talent in the skill position.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
crazy.
That's the only
too.
issue.
Keon Coleman's going to go to a new team and he's going to like block really well, and these teams are going to be like, "What's going on?" Like
Yeah.
Buffalo taught him all the dirty work.
Yeah. That's another thing with Keon Coleman being inactive again. I just think that he's done. But
He is.
Shavers is doing a lot of the things. I just don't think Shavers gets a lot of targets either, right? It's just not part of his role in this team.
Yeah.
But I think if he did get more targets, I think he would have performed just as well, if not better, than Keon Coleman. Now that Keon and him are both on the team and Shavers play special teams, there's no place for Keon to play football with us.
Exactly.
There's
The only reason Sean
give us
McDermott
something
said,
new.
the only reason Sean McDermott said today was like, we're looking at the right rotation. It's just like, okay, well, don't let Keon down because if somebody gets hurt, he is the call up.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah,
I think this is the rotation
basically,
now that we have.
Yeah.
This is, but that was
This is
just
the only one.
McDermott talked it today because you can't
Yeah.
say, Keon's done just in case
In,
for injury.
in games,
Barring
has it-
injuries, I don't want to see him take another snap.
what was
Me too.
Gabe's snap count? You know?
I am not sure.
I'll check.
I didn't see him a ton.
Actually,
on
no.
offense.
We'll let Keon play this week. Sit Shakir.
Yeah, good point.
Let's Shakir. We don't need Shakir, and I know he's been kind of nursing that ankle. That I mean, he's clearly he's practicing in full every week, but you can
Yeah.
tell he's definitely.
All right, who are your?
It's probably sore, so if he could.
Do you think you have 10 guys that you just want to be inactive this week?
Yeah, Kincaid,
Name them real quick.
Knox,
Let's see if we're the same.
Kincaid, Knox, Bosa, Bernard, Shaq Thompson.
Bernard or Benford? Bernard.
Bernard.
Thompson.
I would say Benford too. Poyer, Allen after one drive most.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I count that. Cook.
Maybe Spencer Brown. I don't know. He came in pretty quickly after that injury, so I don't know exactly what that is.
It was the
but if
eye
it's-
gouge.
Oh, okay.
gouged in the eye.
So then I guess he's fine then.
fine.
DeQuan Jones, Prater. Let Ray Davis try out his kicker. Like I'm being honest. Let
who
him
cares?
try out it. Yeah,
We
let
need
him
a
try out
backup
his kicker because he could be the emergency kicker if Prater gets injured in a playoff game. If he shows that he can actually make an extra point or a field goal, that really does help. So I'm being dead serious when I say make Ray Davis the kicker this week.
Yeah.
I don't even know how many players I just named, but all of them.
And Cook. I think James Cook. Did you say him?
I think James Cook should too.
Sit. I think he's
Let
rough.
James Cook get one. Jonathan Taylor is already playing before us, and say Jonathan Taylor, we'll say he gets 70 yards, so he passes Cook by 20 or 30. I would say let's Cook get into
I'm fine
a
with that.
drive to get the rushing leader, kind of like last year how we let him get that touchdown for the
Yeah.
record. I think Cook would also want it too. I think he wants that rushing record, so it's kind of like
Give it up to James
if
Cook.
Jonathan Taylor for some reason goes crazy against the Texans defense for
Don't do it.
150 yards
Yeah.
or 200.
I'm
no.
not doing that.
But if he But
Right.
if he only needs 20, 30, I'll let James Cook get that, especially with how bad the Jets defense is. He should be able to get that on one drive. Literally just, hand it off to James Cook a bunch, maybe a couple screens, and let Josh get his 40th touchdown and then sit him all.
I agree.
Yeah. I think he's already.
Gabe
I think
Davis
he's
had
already a good possibility as a
29
first
sacks,
team All Pro.
38% of the offense.
38%.
I don't know if he'll
38%.
get first team, but I think he'll
I
get
think he
second team.
should. I think
He
he
should get first team.
I don't know if I would. I don't know if I'd put him at first team over Bijan or McCaffrey.
I think
McCaffrey's
McCaffrey.
carried that
He's
passing
had
attack all year.
McCaffrey.
That's
Bijan
true.
has also been crazy. Gibbs has a bunch of touchdowns. I think James Cook should get some votes. I hate how it's only one running back. I feel like it should be two first team All Pros and two
all
second
day.
teams.
McCaffrey.
And I would put Cook. I would put Cook in that second team. I'd probably put McCaffrey, Bijan first team, and then Cook and Gibbs second team.
Because McCaffrey, I think recently has been outplaying Cook, but as in a totality, Cook's had a better season. You know what I
Well,
mean?
also you have to think about it. The teams were just game planning completely to stop him for most of the year with all those injuries. There was no one
Yeah.
else to take pressure off him. It was sell out to stop McCaffrey, and he's still going to do
cooking.
1,000,
He was
over
leading-
2,000. He was
Yeah.
carrying that. That offense was
He was literally
respectable
leaving
just
he was
because of
leading
him.
in rushing and receiving for the
his own
49ers to like
team, yeah.
week 10 or week 11. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's
Which
carry.
is
Yeah,
kind of
so
crazy.
yeah, he's such a good receiver. Like he is by far and away the best receiving
Yes.
back in football, and it just opens up so much what they can do.
I think the Niners are the biggest surprise too this year. Like with all those injuries, they still kind of
Coaching.
hanging above water. Great coaching. They're in a hard division, and they're still probably going to get the 1 seed if they beat. I think they're going to beat
Crazy.
Seattle this week.
McCaffrey
Um,
has almost
and-
900 yards receiving.
Yeah,
but he's
and
going to get 1,000.
Yeah.
They're gonna-
That's
and this
they're
is
gonna put-
exactly
that's insane
this is
behavior.
exactly
Yeah, that's insane
like-
behavior.
my issue. My issue with like people that are like, oh, it's not McDermott's fault. Bean hasn't put out a good roster. Look at all the injuries the Niners have gone through, and they're
Right.
about to get the 1 seed and the tougher conference because
Right.
they have elite coaching throughout. That's
Yep.
really
They
the difference.
do. They do, but like it's hard to. So it's the same thing as people saying. This is how I view it. It's the same thing as people saying in the draft, saying, "Well, we need to stack the D line because that's how the Eagles beat the Chiefs because they just blew up their line." And I'm like, but that's pretty rare to get those kind of players on your team, or even hope that they develop into those level of players. Versus McDermott's kind of like us here, where, yeah, I get it, but where are we going to find a Shanahan? Where are we going to find a staff like that? I think it'd be really difficult to well, because most of these guys aren't leaving their team, of course, right?
Let's go
We
rate
have
the
to take a
Seahawks
shot.
staff.
Yeah. One OC,
You have to
one
rate 'em.
year,
Yeah.
1 year with an outside OC, Josh Allen can win a Super Bowl with, though. That's my thing. Is like
Mhm.
you should really scout these guys, like how me and Molly talk about Pete's as the passing game coordinator behind Clint Kubiak. Like they should do some deep
They're
scouting
not going to
into.
do that.
I know
Yeah,
they're not going
they're
to
not
do
gonna
that.
do it.
I'm saying they
Pete-
should.
well,
And
I
then
Pete's has a
I know. They're
Pete's
not
has
going
a
to do it.
Pete's, I would say, is a realistic shot if Joe Brady leaves because he has the Carolina ties and
Exactly.
has coached under like. My worry though is that Kubiak gets a job and just take Pete's with
it
him.
just takes them with them,
But
which
if
is
Kubiak-
what will happen.
I bet you he takes that Raiders job because that 12 personnel
Yep.
with Bauer and Myers probably has him salivating at the mouth.
All day. All
Dude,
day.
But
speaking of
if
Myers,
Kubiak doesn't take the job, I think Pete's is a realistic candidate because he worked under Joe Brady. There's a lot of similarities in how he runs an offense, how he wants a pass game to go, and the Carolina ties will just have Bean salivating at the mouth. And McDermott.
The Raiders are about to get nerd Fernando Mendoza with the first pick, and Pete's will want that. Like
Yeah,
that's
Pete's and
who he
Kubiak,
wants.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I think
Yeah,
their
all day.
offense could be legit. I think you go if you're the Raiders, you go Mendoza and just the rest of your picks offensive linemen.
yeah.
Yeah.
Man, speaking of the name Myers, not the same person you're talking about, but Jacoby Myers is like literally like changed
I
Jacksonville's
can't believe we didn't.
dynamics.
I can't believe we didn't get him. To be honest with you, it doesn't make.
I mean,
any
the
sense.
rumor is
Like,
we were in
we-
on it. I don't know why we didn't make a bigger push. I mean, he would have been
Me
so
too.
good for
Maybe-
us, man. I don't
maybe
know.
there
had
was
to been-
talks
it had to
about
been
how
the
much
section
money he
of the
wanted.
contract. It had
Yeah,
to be.
there's
the only
no.
thing it could have been.
I
they
like
re-signed
Jacoby
him.
Myers.
Yeah.
There's no way I'd be if we gave him
What'd
that
he
contract.
get?
I'd be pretty mad.
How much
3
did he
years,
get?
60 mil, 40 mil guaranteed.
Yeah,
Mhm.
that's a
I
lot
would
of money.
Yeah, if
That's a
we
lot of
traded
money.
for him and we gave him that extension, I would be mad because
And
I
his
That would have
age,
strapped.
too.
That would have
Wasn't he, like,
strapped us a lot
28?
in 2026.
I like Jacoby Myers. If we could have gave him like we gave like Shakira Palmer in that 12 to 15 range, perfect, fine.
All
But
day.
20
Yeah.
mil and the first 2 years being fully guaranteed, no, I'll pass. I'd rather go and spend. AJ Brown's only 20. AJ Brown's only costs a little bit more via trade. Yes, you have to give up more picks, but same thing with DJ Moore. He's only a little bit more, and you can get out of that quicker.
I
And
don't
they're just
think
way
they'll-
better players.
I think
Right.
Bean's going to take a swing. I don't think it's going to be AJ Brown though. I think he's caused too much distress for the Eagles.
I-
I agree with you with that sentiment for sure because
You know,
if
one of
you're
the
Brandon
bigs.
Bean, you look at him and be like, well, I can't guarantee you that Josh is going to give you wide receiver one treatment. So are we going to have this issue sort of thing? I agree
Yeah.
with that. Miley, I agree.
I agree.
I
That's
agree
why I
that
think
DJ Moore is probably the smartest thing
Type
to
of
do.
player
in
that
my-
you
I think
go
you
after.
swing for the fences. You swing for Jettas or Brown or Waddle.
For
But
sure.
If you get that 0-2 count, you can't strike out. You put the ball in play. Go get DJ Moore.
I'd rather have DJ Moore over Jalen Waddle.
I wouldn't.
Waddle
I wouldn't
hurt
either.
Waddle gets hurt all the damn time. I don't think
There are
he
always
does.
little minor injuries.
Yeah, but he's always nicked up. He misses time a lot, just here and there. Even throughout the middle of the game, he goes out down in the second quarter, doesn't come back. Like that matters, you know. Even though he played the game, then comes back the next week, does the same thing. He's not a good blocker. He's not someone who does. He does a lot of. He's not Tyreek in that way because I think we compare them a lot. But I mean, he's a lot of posts and goes, and then he does some crossers over the middle. But he's not a guy who's just like routing dudes up. I think he outruns people, you know.
Yeah,
He's a
which
burner.
is fine.
Yeah, he's a
even,
burner.
Even
I
when
mean,
it
he'd
comes
be
down
great.
to it,
He'd be
whatever
great.
receiver we get, we need to get one in the draft. Like we can't sit on our
What up,
what's up,
Whittle?
Whittle?
What up?
We can't sit on our hands and expect one wide receiver to do it. I think we really need to. We need to figure out a wide receiver in the draft with another guy that can teach the rookie as he goes, and then eventually go into a second contract. I know that it's a constant reminder that we're not good at drafting the right guy, but I do think that Brandon Beane knows that his job is probably on the line when it comes to building a wide receiver room and then getting to the Super Bowl. If you get to the Super Bowl, it negates the wide receiver room. If you have a good wide receiver room and something goes around, then you can look at McDermott at that point. But overall, I think McDermott is now holding better weight than Brandon Beane in a conversation of one or the other.
Yeah, Whittle says, follow me on this one, Michael Pittman. I like Michael Pittman a lot as well.
I wouldn't hate it because he can actually, despite being a big body guy, he can actually create some separation.
I think his cap hit next year is pretty rough.
I would honestly rather have Alec Pierce over Pittman if I'm taking a Colts wide receiver, but I wouldn't hate Pittman.
He's a free agent, right? Alec Pierce is a free agent.
But if they want to trade Pittman and then re-sign Pierce, and if Pierce and Downs be their top two, which is I would not be surprised that's the case. I wouldn't hate Pittman. I like DJ Moore a little bit more, but Pittman would make me upset.
I think Pittman is a $24 million cap hit next year, but then a free agent in 2027.
So it's the same thing as DJ Moore because DJ Moore isn't a free agent,
cheaper.
but it's cuttable.
Yeah, he's 29.
His contract has like no guarantee the last year, so it's cuttable.
Five dead, 29.
Yeah, in a trade, it says cap saving 24.
Yeah, in a trade.
So that would roll to the new team.
Yep, that's different. Yep, exactly. Right. And I think a third probably would get that done based on his contract. I mean, honestly, like I think him and DJ Moore are in the same tier player.
Yeah, I would still rather take DJ Moore though. Michael, how many concussions have Michael Pittman had? Yeah, and he catches those, and he'll always try and catch those balls.
Yeah, and I mean, again, I prefer DJ Moore, but like I can see the vision on Pittman because he's the big body guy that Josh really wants, is what people say, and then I don't, you know what I mean. And then the blocking type thing, Pittman's a pretty good blocker.
So I think,
Pittman, the concussions and injury kind of turned me off a bit.
Yeah, Pittman is the player that they wanted Coleman to become. I actually think they're gonna trade Coleman in the offseason. He's cheap.
I think so too.
He could trade Indy to get Pittman or Chicago to.
Then maybe you'll lump him in or something with the play. Say, hey, this guy's got.
I don't know how you revive that relationship, especially with I don't.
He's a wasted
Coleman
player
has a
right
good
now.
attitude like that, but I just don't see how you can mend it.
Does he have a good attitude?
I think he has a lackadaisical attitude. I think he has a positive attitude, but I think his work ethic is where it goes wrong.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Hold on. I know people hate Keon, but what exactly does Palmer do? Hey, I totally agree.
He's stuck with us for 3 years. He's stuck with us for 3 years. So
I still like him that Philly game.
I like him too.
He dropped a pass, but he was creating some separation on some in routes and some.
I like what the potential skill set is.
Josh did fit a nice in route to him, and then
a tight window. He caught that.
And Palmer then dropped one, which was annoying. But I do like what Palmer brings. I just feel like right now, since we don't have a top guy, there's too much attention on him for how good he really is, and we're not utilizing him well. I think he's perfect in a wide receiver 3 role, which is why we paid him wide receiver 3 money. The issue is we just don't have a wide receiver 1 to make him the wide receiver 3.
He has the same problems he always has. He's inconsistent. I like the skill set. I like what he provides as a player. He's a good all-around player. He's pretty good at everything. The problem is that none of that actually equates to like consistent production, and it didn't in the Chargers. It hasn't here. I don't know if maybe we're just not targeting him enough. Maybe it's just the scheme that we're in. It's possible, but I don't know. I'm starting to fall further away from him as the season goes on. I'm like waiting for the breakout, and it just never happens.
Well, the breakout did happen. He just got injured in the second quarter of that game.
Exactly. I think he might have a good. I think if we can last in the postseason, I think he can be a pivotal spot.
I think he can produce. I think he can produce.
I think he can be pivotal. especially because he is coming back from the ankle injury, and it was always limited. And now, if he can be 100%, don't play in week 18.
He's
come
someone
into
who
the
should not
playoffs.
play.
Yeah, come into the playoffs as much as 100%.
The
Who's more problem with the
I
wide
think it's the receivers more, but I don't think Brady helps them too much.
Yeah,
But I
think he
also
doesn't
think
help,
that
but the type of
Brady-
receivers we have just doesn't work.
I think Brady's having an issue dialing up versatile plays with the wide receiver core we have.
Which,
I think that's an issue in itself.
I think it's like a 75-25% like blame. 75% of the wide receivers, but it's not like Joe Brady's Kyle Shanahan or Sean McVay.
No.
Right.
Here's the problem is the way that this receiver room is being constructed by Brandon Beane is an antiquated approach to the wide receiver position. He's building the room like we're in like he wants a bunch of Keyshawn Johnsons and one slot guy or whatever. And then, even Brandon Cook's deep catches in the game, like they were in the slot.
Yeah,
I mean, we're on the outside, that's good. I'm fine with that.
The game's evolving a little bit old school. I think the issue with Brandon Beane, other than being very bad at drafting wide receivers, so wide receivers is his problem without a doubt, but I think he just put too much stock into Keon Coleman. At that point,
that's the big issue.
It just put too much stock into Keon Coleman. He shouldn't have done that, and he doubled down on it and almost tripled down on it.
And in is he really taking the analytics department of his team seriously? Because all the analytics told us that Keon Coleman was going to struggle because he struggled in college for these same reasons. And then we were just expecting that to be wrong, and like his vision on it is better than what the analytics told us about him as a player. Like, I don't know. Like, I know we have a good, like they were talking about when we got Kincaid, the best hands he's just seen in the draft in 10 years or whatever. And it's like, okay, why did you listen to them there, but not listen to them in this instance? Because they had to have said something down. You know what I mean? Like,
tight ends versus wide receivers.
Yeah, I know.
They hear wide receivers and then they just like go into Jeopardy blank and can't answer a question.
But back to the rookie wide receivers drafting. I know you're gonna like this, Randall, but like imagine next year a wide receiving core of DJ Moore, Casey Conception, Khalil Shakir, Josh Palmer, and Tyrell Shavers.
That'd be
My
awesome.
God, it's explosion all over the place.
And then Josh Palmer can play wide receiver
be
4.
Exploding all over the place watching that.
Wide receiver, and you can make Palmer a wide receiver 4 in that instance, and then those 1 or 2 catches he gets every game that he plays the whole game will be meaningful at that point for a wide receiver 4.
Bingo.
And even Gabe being on the team, like I kind of was disappointed he didn't get more targets in the game. I think they just, I don't know. He had a good game last time we played them.
I think it was between Gabe and Keon. I think Keon, maybe whatever happened throughout the week, he was not ready to do it. So then they put Gabe out. But then in the same breath as Gabe is Kincaid, where they're like, I think they're like squinting their eyes, being like, don't get injured, don't get injured, don't get injured.
Yeah.
And that was another game in the rain where like, you got to go out there, just we'll limit you.
I wouldn't be surprised if they're waiting to unleash the Gabe Davis deep post route till the playoffs. Because I say what you want about Gabe Davis.
I don't even know. I don't know if that
exists.
exists. I don't know if it exists in Brady's offense.
You mean the one like Brandon Cooks just ran, or the
Well,
one that
Brandon
Josh Palmer ran? The
Brandon
one that
Cooks
Josh
ran it
Palmer
from
ran
the
against the
slot.
Falcons. Okay, Josh Palmer ran it against the Falcons.
He did.
He did do that versus the Falcons.
It's
a little different. Wasn't he running
there
from the slot in that play too, though?
I
think he was in the slot as well.
I could be wrong. But
yeah, I feel like we do it a lot from that position.
Or in 2023 in Joe Brady's offense, Gabe Davis still had a couple of deep touchdowns.
I mean, he can do it. I'm just saying I don't see it a lot.
He doesn't do it a lot, but I have a feeling that they're saving something like that for the playoffs because he's only on there for rundowns, it feels like. And it's like run, and then he'll be on there for a rundown and it'll be like play action deep post where the defense isn't expecting it. Yeah. I think that's something we'd save for like a divisional round matchup against Houston.
This is the first season that we can actually say that we are seeing the season progress and plays come out later in the year as they're saving their playbook for sure.
Yeah.
So there is a world where that is accurate.
They are saving. We have seen that. Yeah. They have definitely been introducing little wrinkles onto plays to open things up on their bread and butters. And I feel like come playoff time, it's going to be more and more. Because I just think last year in the playoffs, the way the Chiefs just completely outplayed them. And it's like, all right, this is the 4th year in a row. We've beat them in the regular season. And they come out with plays we've never seen and outcoach us. And they're like, all right, we got to try and take a page from that playbook, beating up on all these bad teams in the regular season. I guess could be nice for seeding purposes, but doesn't do a whole lot when you come playoffs. Why show all the plays?
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm kind of disappointed too with like the playoff seeding itself. Because I had this dream last week. Like we'd be the 5, Pittsburgh would be the 4,
Right.
the Chargers would be 6, and the Texans would be 7. Then the Texans play the Broncos and knock them off. The Chargers beat the the Texans would beat the Patriots and then beat the Broncos, and the Chargers would win their game. They come to Buffalo, right? And then we'd have the AFC Championship game still in Buffalo.
I
just think it's less likely now than we were before.
Best case scenario, I think right now is we have to go on the road, but we're New England 1, Jacksonville 2, Denver 3, Baltimore, Pittsburgh 4. I mean, I guess Pittsburgh, but I think Baltimore wins.
Right.
Out of who I think wins games, and then I think Houston 5, the Chargers 6, us 7. So that means our path is in Jacksonville and then in New England to get the AFC Championship game. And we would avoid Derrick Henry and Houston because they play each other week 1. They knock each other out, and then the winner of that has to either go into Denver or host the Chargers, which is going to be a tough game either way. And then we get the winner of that. Yeah, we have to go on the road, but our path to the AFC Championship game is the easiest if it's in Jacksonville, in New England.
So New England 2, right? They would end up playing Texans in this. No, they play the Chargers.
No, if we're the 7 and New England's the 1.
Oh,
and
is there a world where the Texans get to the 7 seed?
Yeah.
Yeah, if they lose
and the Chargers win.
Yep.
Okay. I'd just rather. I mean, what would make me feel comfortable is Houston having to play away their whole entire. Matter what. If Houston,
if us and the Jags can win, Houston loses, and then Pittsburgh beats Baltimore, great. But if we face Baltimore right now, Derrick Henry's running for 250 yards on us.
Yeah, I tend to agree.
I mean, he had a great game this past week.
We'll be able to move the ball. We can move the even against not really against New England. They were running the ball up and down, and then with 12 minutes left, John Harbaugh's like, "Oh wait, we have to lead. We have a lead. I have to find a way to choke this away. Let me take my best player off the field."
Yeah, that's true. That's true. And
the defense still isn't good.
Same as New England.
I think it's questionable whether Lamar even plays this week. I think that I don't know what's wrong with him. He's done this before, by the way. 2 years ago, he had that knee bruise or whatever.
Yeah.
And he missed 7 weeks and didn't even play in the playoff game.
At least what we have going for us is Pittsburgh's run defense with Derek Harmon has been really good this year. So and it's in Pittsburgh. So I mean, yeah, Pittsburgh can pull this out and win the division, keep Baltimore at home. I would be so happy. But it's Pittsburgh we're talking about. They win the games you expect, and they lose the games you expect, and win the you expect them to win, and then they win the games you expect them to lose. So and them going 2-0, them just making the playoffs again, just for some reason doesn't feel like Mike Tomlin. He gets that winning record and he shuts off.
I think Jacksonville for me is the best matchup just because I see Trevor Lawrence has played better lately, but he's played pretty poorly in the playoffs every single time he's been in there. I mean, like, even though they won against the Chargers, was it 2 years ago? He threw like 5 interceptions or 4 in the first half or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, they pulled that out of the hat, but the Chargers are the choke the second most amount, the most, and they're the second biggest chokers, so either one of those teams don't scare me at all, and that's fine. The Patriots, because they're familiar, are the only reason I wouldn't want to play them.
Yeah, it's just basically game 3 is a it's not a toss-up, but it's just so much more intricate than playing Jacksonville away.
Now, I'll say all these quarterbacks are going to have to keep up. Josh Allen knows how to elevate in the playoffs. None of these guys have shown that can do that yet. So if they're trying to catch up to Superman the whole time, they could be under a lot of pressure just by the sheer fact that, like, look who's on the other side of me. You know what I mean? And there's no Patrick Mahomes this year for people to feel that way about. So I think Josh will be that. That's
there's definitely a lot of things looking forward to in the playoffs, but just it does scare me just us having to go on the road so many games, and we haven't looked great on the road. And but in Jacksonville, I kind of like with the way they looked. If they went and buzzsawed Indy again, I'd be like, all right, they're just so red hot right now. But wait, the Falcons are 21-0 on the Rams.
Oh, wow.
Please don't give Drake May the freaking MVP, dude. Oh my, I would lose my freaking mind. Seriously. They're already padding his stats. There's no reason for him to be in the game blowing out the Jets, throwing 5 touchdown passes and 300 yards, first time he's ever done it. And say, oh, let's there's no reason. They were up by 35-7. I mean, he was still in the
Bijan's just going crazy.
Yeah.
I think
So,
he has all. Does he have all 3 of their touchdowns?
probably. Who knows?
No. Oh, pick six.
No, he's only got one.
And then 2 touchdowns.
Yeah. Because they really
And
want to
then they have
give
a pick
Stafford
six.
this MVP, man. And now now they're not going to win the division either. So I feel like May's going to win the award.
Damn, this is
Probably.
I in a fantasy
Mickey
league
Mouse
I'm in.
MVP.
In a fantasy league I'm in, I was losing by 10 with Kyron, Puka, and Pitts against Bijan, and now I'm losing by 40. So this is awesome.
Golly.
Oh yeah, I had Bijan for my championship. Thank you.
I had Bijan in another league, and he just locked up the win. But like,
so
didn't need him to do that much. But
Do you think
whatever.
this is right?
Well,
with how this
no.
game's going on right now.
All right, so
No.
wait, if the Dolphins beat the Patriots on Sunday and we would have won the division, yes.
Yes.
But
Agreed.
if the Dolphins, and now the Dolphins look good with Quinn Ewers with a whole full 2 weeks of being with the starters, he looked pretty good, like better than Tua's looked all year in my opinion. So, maybe that would have changed things for them because it seems like they still kind of want to win games. The Jets don't want to win; they clearly want the number 1 seed.
Okay. If he's talking about Louisville, Chris Bell, I am nervous as we've talked about. Like
didn't
Chris
he
Bell.
blow his knee out?
He's got an ACL injury, so we don't. Obviously, he'll speed will be back because
He's raw too,
but
man.
he is legitimately a bust or AJ Brown type. Does he be able to? Will he be able to develop in Buffalo when we have a bad track record at that? That's what scares me. He's not a great route runner. I am out on Bell personally for Buffalo. I think he could do well in the league, but he needs to go to the right spot. I'm out for Buffalo personally. I like the explosive guys, or like
he reminds me of Leggett. He reminds me of Leggett.
Yeah, he could be Leggett,
which is
Mekhi
fine.
Lemon, or possibly I do non-explosive. If we're looking for a non-explosive wide receiver in the draft, I'm looking at Elijah Surratt from Indiana. He's more like a Michael Thomas Jr. And then if we want to go late, like let's say we do get somebody we have to like Waddle and we have to pay first and we have to go late. I'm looking at like Malik Benson from Oregon. He will run a 4.29, a 4.30, and he is dynamite at 6'1", 195 running that speed. So I'd rather go that route. I'm out on Bell.
Yeah. Whittle says, I hate that we lost the damn game. Losing that game took Hurts off the media grill. He would have been barred. Yeah, look at his stats too, Whittle. Have you seen he's like less than 50% completion percentage in that game? He was bad.
Yeah,
that's the
worst part about losing that game is listening to Eagles fans.
God, yeah.
It really is kind of the only part that is annoying to me. Because losing 13-12 in a game that's like we really had a very slim chance to win the division anyway. But losing a heartbreaker at the end where Allen clearly outplayed Hurts the whole entire game and then Hurts gets the win. I mean, it's just that's what Hurts does, though. I mean, in some respects, you got to give him some respect that he does this every year. Well, not every year, but he keeps doing this year where he wins football games and he look at his stat line. He played like shit the whole game.
That's what he's done. He's
almost his whole career.
He's a coach's son. It's what he did in college. It's like he just his aura brings wins. It's bizarre. I don't know.
It's bizarre. If you just took the score out and you look at the box score in that game, I mean, I bet you even with like EPA and things like that, there's no way that they were ahead of us in that game. I don't have the numbers. I mean, look at all of it. Like, just the third down percentage, the red zone, like it was all in our favor, and we still lost.
Yep.
Yeah, Whittle was there. So was Randall and Miley. Actually, it's funny. Bunch of Duke champions people there.
It did.
All right, let's finish this up. Do you want to do predictions, or do you want how do you want to run this? Because this is kind of a weird week where we don't really need to win. So, what are your thoughts? I guess what do you expect to see in this game? Or what do you want to see instead of a score?
No injuries, resting a good amount of people. As you talked about, 10 to 12 people that need rest. And I would like to see no practice injuries.
Okay. Oh, bye.
He's
out. I don't care.
He doesn't
care. Whatever. He's out. He's out. I'm kicking him out.
Yeah.
I didn't kick him out. Sorry. I agree. That's my take on it as well. Like, I'd like to limit the amount of practice injuries we're seeing. A lot of them. I don't know why. They can't tell me that Kincaid didn't have a setback when he didn't play and he played last week. It can't be just like we want to rest him the rest of the year. Dude, something happened. It's not feeling great. I hate that they blow smoke on us like that. And then like practice injuries are one thing. I want to see them rest Bosa for sure. I want to see him rest Allen after 1 or 2 drives. And I want to see them rest Cook after 1 or 2 drives. And I want to see them win whatever with the backups in at the end of the game, which I think is very plausible.
Very plausible.
Yep. I think if I had to give like a score prediction, I'd probably say like 20-10.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds right. Maybe Allen comes in, gets a touchdown the first drive, gets out of the game. They score in the second drive with Cook.
Touchdowns.
He's 1 away, right?
Yeah.
It does kind of suck. He hasn't got any passing touchdowns the last couple of weeks, even though like this past game, he threw for a ton of yards and they ended up being rushed. Now he tried to get one and ended up being down or whatever. I get it. We could add another one, where we got stopped. So I mean, they were on the table, right? But it just kind of is what it is at this point. I mean, he's had. If you look at his numbers, he's had a good year.
Agreed. Criticizing
him ain't it. Like siding with some other content creators all the time that have been ignorant at best.
Yeah.
Moronic at worst. And pretending that just because you rattle off some analytics that someone else came up with that you don't know how they actually work yourself, you're just spouting it out like ball, dude.
And then
I don't know what to say. Like,
and then if people disagree with you, you make up things about them that aren't even true, and say that is the reasoning. Yeah.
You
slander. You legit slander them just because they disagree with you.
Oh yeah, he did say something. Yeah. But besides the point, at the end of the day, for me personally, like we can't. He's the last person you should blame. Without him, we win 4 games this year. Let's stop bullshitting and pretending like it's always Josh Allen's fault, dude.
We've won 4 games where
he's not perfect. He's made mistakes, but let's stop this. So
before we go with he just got unclaimed, right? So he might come to the practice squad.
My thought is that, and then I think we cut after come playoffs. I think we cut the tight end, and then we either bring him up or bring Judon up. That'd probably be.
I'm kind of surprised, I guess, just because of the Kincaid injury, they were worried. But Latu does. He's a special teams player for the most part, but offensively, he doesn't really provide anything. I kind of almost wish they just let him stay on the practice squad and bring another D tackle up or a linebacker or whatever.
I guess they just wanted 3 tight ends for the game. That's what it was.
Yeah, I guess.
Whatever.
Yeah, whatever. I don't know. Maybe sign another guy.
Gilliam's an all-pro fullback.
I don't personally. I didn't really care too much because it's not like they were using Hardman anyways. Last week they didn't use him at all, which was frustrating.
Sorry, I hit the wrong button.
No, I agree though. I agree, Molly. I agree.
So anyway, all right, guys, let's get it out of here. Thanks for showing up. Please like, share, subscribe, and we'll see you next Monday.
For the best Italian food in Western New York, Elliot Apollos, call 716-825-3675. The Lardon Construction Group.
Fubo TV, the official streaming service of Do Champions. FanDuel, the official sportsbook of Do Champions.
For all your summertime needs, beauty pools, as well as kayak pools.
CX Chronicles, your total customer solutions focused manager. W.GG, the official energy drink of Do Champions.
Hey, Sons of Erie, our artwork looks better on your walls. Hamburg Brewing, please visit our tap room on Boston State Road, Hamburg, New York. And finally,
Fat Boy Surf Club for all your surfing needs.